Let's give it up for E.T. for coming back once again, man. I mean, I've got literally a bajillion questions, but who wants to kick it off? Go ahead, Coach. What's up, John Clayton? Let's see if is this working.
I don't need it, but I'm saying if it is, we can use it.
Let's see. It is. Might as well conserve your voice with all the speaking you do.
Yeah, we're good. All right. Yes, sir.
All right, let's stand up then. So more of a selfish question though, but I got two agents in my agency right now. They got they battle with MS, like your wife, and also some mental issues. But every morning at 5 a.m. I get a text message, a group text of you in your video. So I just want to know, could you just give like a special shout out to kind of lift this spirit up? I record it for you, just say, hey.
Oh, we could do it afterwards. I'll do it when I'm close. Yeah, I got you. No problem.
That's awesome. That's great.
You're homeless, you're on the street. What was that catalyst that finally made you look internally and say, from now on, it's on me? What was the catalyst?
So 2 catalysts. So the first one was my girlfriend at the time. We had gotten into a relationship, and she was leaving, and she was like, if I go to college without you, I'm gonna break up with you. And then the second was I was losing. I was losing, and I didn't feel, even though I was losing, I never felt comfortable losing. I was homeless. I kind of felt like you don't really belong here. Everywhere I would go, people would be like, almost like the prodigal son, like you don't belong here. Like you don't belong here. You don't belong here. And so I never forget, we had a big fight, me and some of my homies, and we went back to our neighborhood, and the guy pulled me to the side, and I just thought he was about to commend me, for my acts of courage. And he was like, man, you need to get your GED and get out of here. Like, you don't belong here. So losing, not feeling comfortable with losing, and then connecting with another human that had purpose, loved me, wanted to see the best in me. It was those 2 things that really, catapulted me and helped me to leave Detroit, go get my GED, and go off to college. And then to take it to that next level was my son. When my son was born, July 20th, 1995, it just took me to a whole nother level of responsibility and focus. So, yeah.
What's up, Arturo Johnson? Let's go.
So I'm also from the South Side of Chicago. And I can remember being an entrepreneur, but everybody told me that I couldn't do it and that people looked like me weren't going to be successful. And so every single day, I used to wake up and listen to your content, and it just motivated me to take one step every single day. And so my question to you is, why did you start doing it? Why did you start speaking to me?
Yeah, I started speaking to you because there were so many people that were speaking against you. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of complaining about all the negativity, I was like, I need to be that voice. Like, I've been given a gift to inspire, and I need to do it, And so when I started doing it, God kind of told me I was being selfish because I was doing it on Mondays. And he was like, you got enough energy to do it every day. And you got enough energy to do it multiple times a day. And so I've just always wanted to be the person that was there for me. Pastor Willis was that voice for me in the midst of like homelessness, in the midst of just all the stuff I was going through. He was always that positive voice. And I just always wanted to be that positive voice, for others. Like almost like Dr. Martin Luther King, like just how he was like, I got a dream. And he was like, one day blacks and whites are gonna be together, little boys, little girls. You know what I'm saying? Like even in the midst of everything, he still kept that faith and that hope, and so I want to be that in this generation, if that makes sense. Yeah.
What are you listening to now? We listen to you, and we're going to continue to do that, but what are you listening to?
Yeah, I listen to you. Yeah, I listen to you. I'm just being real. I listen to you. When I was with that homeless dude, I was listening to him. Like, how you get here? You weren't here when you was 13. You weren't here at 16. What happened? You were somebody's son and somebody's, brother. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, maybe father. Like, how'd you get here? And just listening to distress, and listening to chasing money. It's just like, I try to tell people, man, money is the easiest thing to make. It's the easiest thing to make. Like of all the important things in life, it's the easiest one to do. Why? It's the only one that you'll do and you'll give it away as soon as you get it. It's the only one. You don't get a friendship and give it away immediately. Money is the only thing that as soon as you get it, you give it away. You give it away for something. You get it hoping it will buy you something. So I'm like, yo, bypass all that and just go get all the stuff. And why you chasing money? Go chase the relationships. And if you get in enough healthy relationships, they're going to pay you. They're going to take care of you. They're going to set you up for success. I don't have to do that. But if I add enough value, the money will come. But some people trying to get money without the value. You're trying to get money and you ain't got no value to give. If I got value to give, let me tell you something, if I don't do nothing else, I'll be able to speak for the rest of my life. Because you have phenomenal humans who are doing conferences and they need phenomenal humans who are going to come and do a conference with them, not coming to get something from the conference. They're going to add value. So for me, it's like bypass all of that. So I listen to humans, and as I'm listening to you, I hear what you're struggling with. This is a true story. First time I did, thank God it's Monday. I'm watching it. It's about 10 people on there. I'm literally, go back and watch it. I'm literally talking to those, Carol, what's up, Carol? Hey, Carol, I know you're going through it, but hold on, Carol. You're going to make it, Carol. You're going to get through this, Carol. And they was loving it. Carol was geek. She told all her friends. He called my name out on the thing. You know what I'm saying? Now I got 2.2 million followers, so it's a little bit more challenging to call out those names.
Take a while.
It take a minute. But they follow me because they were like, he trying to sell me something. I can sell whatever I want to sell now. I gave away 16 years of free content. You feel obligated to me. You feel like, yo, he did this for me. Least I could do is buy his book. Least I could do is get him on a New York Times bestseller. So I gave away content for free for 16 years because I knew money was a byproduct of taking care of people. And I never went hungry those 16 years. I never went hungry, right? And I do want to say this. I was having a conversation with my son yesterday, and I could tell he was on that. Like, he was kind of like, Dad, I'm 28. It's his birthday. He wasn't like super geeked. I was like, you good? He's like, I'm just thinking. I'm like, what you thinking about? And he was like, Dad, I kind of feel like I'm behind. I said, behind what? That's when you start thinking you should be at a certain place in life. I was like, what you trying to get? I was like, son, what you trying to get, son? He was like, what you mean by that, Dad? I said, son, you already got it. He's like, what does you mean I already got it? I said, son, me and your mom, we millionaires. I said, watch this. We're not doing nothing new. We was eating before we had millions. We lived in an apartment. We had a place to stay before we were multimillionaires. We actually had a car before we were multimillionaires. We went to restaurants before we were multimillionaires. We actually stayed in hotels before we... I said, money ain't gave us nothing we never had before, son. We don't have anything new that because of money. We don't have anything new. The only thing we may have is we may have a little bit more of our time. But I'm just being real. We don't have that. I did the hour and God said, give my people some more time. So even that, I don't get to go, I did the hour, I'm done, I'm going up to my room. Even with that, God was like, no, you're not finished yet. So the only thing we may have is more of our time, but I don't have nothing new with the money that I have. More challenges with Uncle Sam. That's really what I have. I'm just being real. That's the one thing I never had. Before I had money, I ain't never had to worry about taxes and the tax game and playing all them games. It's a stress. Like, it's a stress. I'm like, yo, he getting paid when I get paid. Like, you getting a whole lot for doing nothing. Like, this is unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say I listen to you. And when I hear what's ailing you, that's what I talk about. And it hit every time. Why? Because you're real and you have real problems. So I just listen to you. That's why this is important, because I hear some stuff, and I'm going to take this and do some videos, content around this. Yep, that's good.
It's awesome. That is awesome, man. There you go, Ashton.
Oh, I love it.
He's up ready. He's ready.
I'm always ready. Yeah, I had a question for any of the speakers. So a lot of us, we deal with other agents that we're coaching and mentoring, and in our industry, it's really easy to get that negative mindset, to get down and lose that belief. And something I believe deeply in what Cody says, it's because we don't have that proper vision. So as we're coaching and mentoring our other agents that maybe don't have that vision yet, what are some ways as leaders that we can practically...
Yeah, well, I want to say this to Cody. I have because I believe in assessments. I believe in tools. So we have an assessment, and that assessment shows you where the majority of people will lose it. Each person will lose it in a different area, right? You have some people that don't have what you think they should have because they're not what we call pilots, they're ground crew. So they weren't even born to have a vision. They were born to help you with your vision. So you're looking at them like, yo, why you not? They weren't born to do that. They were born to support. So they can never have that tenacity and that whatever. They don't have that. Their thing is, I want to help you get to the next level. So you're looking for them to do something that they're not capable of doing. You got a person like me. If you want to drive me and you say, E, I had to do this, like I give you $2 million. I'm like, you lost me, bruh. You lost me already. If you tell me how helping you can help other people, I got your back. So oftentimes what happens is you have a leader who's a pilot and they're driven and they want everybody else to be pilots. But everybody can't fly the plane. Somebody's got to be a flight attendant. Somebody's got to be a grounds crew. Somebody got to be an air traffic control. So just because they don't have the drive we have don't mean they don't have drive. You just have to sharpen it or push it in a different way. And I have a tool that I can give you for free and let you play with it and then see and then give it to those people so they can get to that next level. JJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I love that. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb trees, it's a bad fish, right? So I just think understanding people and their roles. If you are the one teaching and leading, then it's kind of up to you to be able to delegate those roles and those responsibilities so that it lifts them up and doesn't break them down. I think a lot of times people can get discouraged because when you try anything for the first time, you're not that good at it. So I think you being in that position, figure out their strengths, and let them build some momentum off of that, because momentum is a fantastic thing. Like I actually said this morning, sometimes the door isn't locked, we're just not pushing into it hard enough, and some momentum can help us get that drive and push through.
That's awesome.
I'll go quick and I'll throw it to you. I'll go quick because you guys hear from me all the time, man. But like Ashton's been doing this for years, and he expects people to buy in at the same level of him day one, week one, or month one. It's not going to happen.
All right, who wants to duplicate leadership? Anybody? Yeah. So I love the art of duplication. I always say I am a king and queen maker. So I'm looking who wants to be crowned. So I'm testing people, constantly testing people. Everyone's worth it, but who's worth your time?
That's right.
And that's how I got into my business, where my mentor said, listen, I'll rock with you, I'll ride with you, you can shadow me, we can do this, but the minute that you're out, the minute that you're flighty, you gotta go. Because I'm looking for those that want to get on the field, and I want to help someone become and do what I do. So are we clear on that? So I find that you gotta manage expectations, and you teach people how to treat you by what you allow and what you reinforce. Okay, so keeping those boundaries, and then we all know leadership is what? Influence, and it's also your example. Yeah. So be the person, be the leader that those are praying for. But as soon as someone's dragging feet, like, listen, if you want to duplicate fast, you got to work with the aces in the deck, and you got to be a talent scout. Yeah.
That's good. That's great. That is so good. Let's go, Bernard. Let's go, Bernard.
Thank you for allowing me to ask another question. First of all you guys were spectacular. I've been super inspired. You guys are in the room with, we're in the room with you guys, but you're also in the room with the elite of this conference. And so I'm speaking for all of us, I hope. How would you guys say that you manage hate? Because I'm just getting to the point where I'm getting a whole bunch of hate.
Describe that when you say that. I'm sorry? Hate. Describe, what do you mean when you say hate?
People lying about you and saying stuff that isn't true and trying to defame your character, stuff that I've never dealt with in my life. And so I want to know how you guys...
And why do you feel the need to deal with it now?
I'm sorry?
Why do you feel the need to deal with it now?
Well, it's now making people around me question me that were following me, and now they're starting to.
Here's my deal, though. Yes, I promise you, you're not going to convince the people that follow you to follow you because you're counterattacking what somebody else says, right? You're not going to do that. Right, she said it, example. Now here's the other thing that you got confused. You actually want them to make them think something bad about you. You want that because you want them to leave as quick as they can leave. You feel me? Like you don't want them 10 years in, then they like questioning you. You want to get questioned early and often. And you want those that flinch to flinch so you can get them out of there. And you want those that are ride or die, you want them to stay. So I'm just being real. So I got Didi and I got CJ. If somebody was to lie and say something about me, you're not about to get Didi to budge. You're not about to get CJ to budge. So then who are you talking about that's budging? I'm saying, if it's not her, then what are you worried about? And if they can budge, it just meant they were getting tested earlier so they can budge and get out the way. You feel what I'm saying? So don't see it as a negative thing. That hate is an agitator, and you need it. That hate is an agitator. You need it so you can get rid of any and everybody. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro, like the longer you keep people that ain't with you for the right reason, you are building a foundation with them and it's going to crumble anyway, and then this whole side going to fall. So just get over having a bunch of people, get 3 or 4 solid ride or dies, and I'm telling you, when those people start talking crazy, your crew going to go, yo, hold up now, watch your mouth, watch who you talking to. You won't even have to do it yourself. Yeah, that's how my man earlier.
Yeah, quickly on that, the loudest boos always come from the cheapest seats. Right? So yeah, just try and seek affirmation from your actions, not your acknowledgments, right? So you just always go back to your work ethic, what you stand for, because you know who you are. Okay. Love.
I always say, let the trash take itself out.
Yeah.
Okay. And the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy.
Yeah. Let's say that again.
So you might be in a place where it's time for you to ascend. It's time for you to go to new levels. And with new levels, there's what?
New levels.
Yes. And so what you focus on, you find, and it expands. So if you focus on those people that don't believe, that are drama, you're only going to attract more that you know that. So focus on what you are, who you are, what you're creating, your enterprise. Focus on the good. And here's the truth, like when you lay your head on the pillow and you know I'm a good man, I'm of honor,
yes.
I'm building my enterprise the way that God intends me to build, yes. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't. So just keep going to those new levels. And the right people will follow you. The right people will follow you.
Yes. So good. Great job. I love that. I love that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love your content. Daniel Gomez inspires. I love that you always talk about God. I talk about God too. Two questions. What did you do when to get thicker skin? Because sometimes when you talk about God, you get that rejection, right? Because even Jesus got persecuted. And then what did you do to prepare you for the next level as God was ascending you to higher levels?
Yeah. So the first one is I am never bothered by an individual who's bothered by my relationship with the person that got me to where I am in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? Like, God was the one that got me here. So why would I be worried about a human that didn't elevate me? So now I'm embarrassed of the person who blessed me for a person who's not going to bless me, who just has an opinion or a critique. Like, bro, no way. I'm about to lose everything because I'm worried about what you think. Like I gotta rock with the person that rocked with me when I wasn't rock worthy. So you got people now that's like, yo, ET, and I ain't mad, I've grown. But he was rocking with me before I even got my stuff together, when I was homeless and a high school dropout. So I can't forsake the person that's the reason why I'm standing here right now. So all of this, what other people think, we gotta grow out of that. Like I'm hearing a lot of other people's thoughts about you. Like you gotta stop that. When you get to another level, you gotta listen to your voice, God's voice, and whoever's in your circle, you gotta listen to their voice. Now, how do you prepare? You always prepare. I always say stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You always prepare. You're always preparing. So people say, when Didi got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, you didn't budge, you didn't flinch. Like, what happened? Bro, I've been praying since I was 19 years old. I was getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning praying. So when Didi got diagnosed with MS, I do what I do every morning. I went to God in prayer, and I took it to him in prayer. And he said to me in prayer, as he had talked to me before, this is an answer to your prayer. I just answered your prayer. You want your wife with you. There's some things that you want your wife to do with the children. and your wife has a strong spirit, she's never gonna quit her job, so I made her. So this is a blessing, it's not a curse, it's not unto death. I stopped her in her tracks. My wife will tell you, God had to come down and stop me because I had a plan and wasn't ride with him. I went to school just like he went to school. I paid to go to school like I want to be a nurse. I don't want to be running up behind him. But this is what God called me to do, but he had to touch me to do it. And so I just got up and prayed. And every day I get up and pray. So whatever comes to me is probably devastating, but when I wake up and give it to him, I don't even know that it's devastating because I don't have to deal with it. That's your daughter with MS. That's your problem. That's not my problem, but you gave me a promise. I'm hoping this promise you gave me, this MS ain't about to mess it up. And actually the MS elevated our marriage, elevated our life, because my kids got their mama back, I got my wife back, and the world got Dee Dee. So I do what I do every day, pray, and that prepares me for whatever's coming.
Hey, if you enjoyed this,
I got another one you're gonna love.
it's right there. Click on it.
See you in there.
I'm so excited for today's CA Power Player podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins. We got a special guest. He is back on the channel talking about how to sell life insurance from home. Here's what I love about this person. Okay, I'm telling you, this will be one of the best.